Kids need a place where they can try things that they don't think they can do and be a person that they don't think they can be and have all of the support to try that without the judgment and the history that they might have at home. Youth, especially the youth that we work with, need a place where they feel so comfortable that they can think about those bigger questions in life.
Camp has really changed life for me in general through like the past 6 years. Things were going wrong at home, and then, just thought about camp. What are we gonna do at camp this year? Who am I gonna meet? Are these people gonna be nice? Like, I was always worried about people thinking about like who I am with my personality.
I had a lot going on in my life before I did even come to camp, and like through this camp I've learned a lot, and I've like a lot of self-recognition and realized, you know what, this is not who I want to be, this is who I want to be. It brought that positive into my life that I really hadn't had growing up.
I've seen different types of abuse, both physical and with substance. I've seen like a lot of violence, personal and like mental issues growing up, and a lot of times going down that path seems like such a good idea. But what deters me from that is the possibility of not being able to come back to camp. And it's got to the point where camp isn't even the reason for it anymore. I'm just genuinely a good person and don't go down that path because I know it's wrong. And I feel like even though now that's me saying that, what kickstarted that emotion was this program.
When we paddle back into camp, it's gonna feel incredible because this is a 105-kilometer trip and it's 6 days and it's really, really long. But when we see the camp, we're gonna know that it's almost over.
It's amazing, and we're almost done and we're almost there. We can finally relax, but we're all gonna be upset because we don't want trip to end. So it's gonna be so many emotions at once, but we know we're gonna feel happy at the end.
It's our last day of trip. We're just gonna paddle hard and just finish what we started kind of on day one. You paddled 105 kilometers, so you just feel so accomplished.
The trip has been amazing. All of these guys have done phenomenal work, and I'm sure that they are even surprised at how much they've actually accomplished.
Actually seeing the camp, it was amazing. We knew that we didn't have to wait for the bus to pick us up, and we were here already. We could just unload everything.
When groups get back from trip, it's really a whirlwind of things that happen. They pack in all of their gear, they clean up their food, they get all of their, little bits sorted out.
Okay, go to the right a little bit because I can see ahead of you. Go to the I think I've probably learned a lot about myself and my strengths, as I have little purple bruises from soloing, and I'm soloed for at least a little bit every single day. It kind of showed me that if I actually set my mind to something and if I have a goal ahead of time, as long as I push myself to accomplish it, then I know that I can do it.
How do you already feel? How do you feel after the shower and the rest? We're good?
I feel incredible.
Yeah.
I think camp has definitely changed me as a person. I used to have really bad anxiety. Now that I'm here, it's been really helping me get out of my zone of uncomfortableness, and that has helped me a lot in my life now because I'm able to get a job and I'm able to go out and do things that I want to do without being afraid constantly.
With any canoe trip, I always hope that campers are coming back with a better understanding of themselves. You really learn how far you can go and how much you can do, and it surprises a lot of people.
So, you can see I got a trip rope here, and we're gonna do a little activity before we put it on your wrists or ankles. I'm gonna say something nice about someone else, something positive, it can be something you're thankful for, and then we're gonna pass the rope around. I think the highlights have probably been in the last couple of days, just seeing the group kind of come together. They realize that they are capable of these new things they never thought they'd be, especially just in general, just living in the wilderness for 6 days.
The web that we've created shows that we all support each other, and that if I was just to let go, the web would start to fall apart, and even just with one person gone, we'd come crashing to the ground. Whenever you look at this trip rope, you can remember the times that we had on trip and that there's 9 other people out there that care very deeply for you.
We learned so much about everybody that it's really hard to leave them. We all worked pretty well together near the end, and I just hope that next year's like that too.
Saying goodbye is the hardest, and I usually am crying. I'm totally coming back next year. Never miss it, ever.
Thanks for a great trip, and we still have roughly 24 hours.
I was always kind of scared of what people would think of me at first, and then, you know, first couple of years came to camp, and I learned that camp is a place where you can come and be who you are and not be judged.
Like, I can always use the words like good, great, you know, I had fun, but like that to me is just using like the general terms. It's not being like what actually happened at camp.
If there's one person in particular that I would like to aim to make proud by applying the values that I've learned from camp, that would be my grandpa. So thank you, Tim Hortons. Thank you for the trips, the memories, the lessons, and most of all, thank you for shaping my life to be that of my papa.
It does get really, really emotional, like the last banquet, just through the fact like it's gonna be our last year coming here. Just seeing everybody's expressions and then like their feelings, you know, like then people start crying and then everything just gets really emotional for everybody. And I'm pretty sure like everybody else here would say the same thing, that it's probably changed their lives quite a bit.
Scared of dentists in the dark.
You are the people that you saw when you were in L1 at the farm. Those L5s who were probably really awesome and cool, those are you now. And we hope that over the past few years, and maybe the year to come, you will really, really feel like camp is your home, or your second home.
Just get real close after so long, and then that last day is just heartbreaking.
Safe trip.
1, 2, 3, They had this bond after trip that was like unbreakable, and I think that was like the most amazing thing to see is like people come into it and be like, I don't know who anybody is, and then afterwards like we had people crying because they had to get on the bus and like leave each other, so it was phenomenal.
It's really hard to like, you know, see someone for the last time for a long while. It's kind of a good emotional pain, really, because like, look at what we've done over the 6 past years.
It's so difficult to try and say what camp means to me. The only thing that I can think of that would describe it is once in a lifetime. I honestly feel so lucky to have been given this opportunity.